Hello everyone. I'm sorry that this video is later at night than normal. Um, it was a really nice family day today. Um, I don't have a whole lot to talk about again. I say that in almost every video and then it ends up being about 7 minutes. But as the semester is starting to draw to a close, there is less for me to talk about because I'm not doing anything new. I could try to explain some concepts, but I'm not sure how far that would go in furthering your guys' knowledge as to what I'm doing because I don't know if I could explain it well enough. So I think I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the application process for those who want to apply to law school in the future. Um, so in my application process, I was actually very fortunate. I put out a lot of applications. I think it was 12 or 13. I was waitlisted at one place and I was rejected at one place, and I actually never heard back from one place before I ended up making my decision and withdrawing all my applications. That's not a typical application cycle because a lot of people apply to schools that they really want to go to, but maybe not the schools that their um, hard numbers allow them to get, and that's your undergrad GPA and your LSAT score. I kind of went a little bit different. I only applied to two, yeah, about maybe three places that my numbers didn't really give me a good chance at getting into. And I was fortunate enough to get into one of them, and then I got waitlisted and rejected from the other two. But the softer materials, your references and your letter of not your letter of recommendations, your personal statement and your letters of recommendation, those are a little bit harder because those are the ones that the committee is going to read, and that is your interview because most schools do not give them. I've actually only heard of one school that does, and that's Lewis and Clark. Other than that, I haven't heard of a law school bringing people in to interview. So your letters of rec and your personal statement are incredibly important. They want people who have good numbers, but also people who are going to be able to contribute to the atmosphere. Um, so typically, how I kind of look at it, your numbers will get you in the door, but your soft materials, your recommendations, and your personal statement are really what solidify your position, and in some cases might be the things that are going to give you scholarship money if your numbers are not totally outrageous from what they normally see. What I would recommend for a personal statement is anything that you are either passionate about, any sort of roadblock that you've encountered in your life that you were able to overcome, um, anything that you think could make you stand out. Do not write about how learning about the law will change the world. I've heard from numerous committee members that review thousands of applications how much they hate them because they always see them. Don't try to write like a lawyer because they don't want you to right now. They are going to teach you how to do that. Um, Other than that, just write something that is you. Write about anything that you actually care about, anything that helped you become who you are, and how that will help you in law school. Um, your letters of recommendation, get them from professors or really even employers if you're a non traditional student or if you've been in the same job for a long time. From anybody who really knows you and how you interact with others, how you respond under pressure, um, anything like that. If anyone can speak genuinely and positively, I heard about someone getting a negative letter of recommendation, so make sure you ask if it would be a positive letter. If anyone can genuinely speak to how well they think you would do, or how well you do in a classroom, how well you do on assignments, anything like that, will be incredibly helpful. Um, I think the last thing I'm going to talk about is going to be once you get into multiple schools. Many places don't I'm not sure if they don't allow it or obviously they don't advertise it, but you can negotiate scholarships. I did that at three different schools, and one other school that I did not negotiate with actually just increased my offer randomly, and that was incredibly nice, and I appreciated it, but I'm not exactly sure why they did it. They never told me, but the best way I found to negotiate is building a good rapport with the front office staff and just the admissions people that repeatedly see the emails that come in. They respond to the emails, become not necessarily friends, but at least cordial, at least to where they will recognize your name. um, it doesn't even need to be anything. What you write to them about initially doesn't need to be anything big. A lot of times I would just email the admissions office asking a simple question, maybe once or twice a month, just to kind of keep in touch with them, make sure that they knew I was still interested. And then once my acceptances started rolling in, and I was starting to get scholarship information, I would ask them if it is possible to see if I could negotiate. A lot of times, if they do, they will have a separate form that you might need to fill out, and they will require you to have the offer you are trying to compete with. So, for example, if school A gives you $80,000 and school B, which you really want to go to, only gives you 10,000, you can negotiate with school B, but just know that they are going to want a copy of school A's offer. So if you can photocopy it, that would be preferable just because then it's an easy electronic form and, it's really easy to scan and send. Um, the other thing about that would be don't be pushy with it because you are asking them for additional money. You're not entitled to it. Don't demand it because your hard factors, your LSAT and GPA, are so much higher than anything they've ever seen. You are not entitled to a dime. They don't need to give you any money. They don't need to increase the amount that they're giving you. Be nice, be polite, and just ask. There's not a whole lot else that you can do because the process for negotiating takes a little while because they want to make sure that they get a good um, they want to make sure that they know all the people who are actually going to be interested in going to that school and how much money is going to be given back to them from the people who do not accept their offers before they start considering upping your offer. So be aware of that. Also, even if they don't offer you any money, try, negotiate. That happened to me. I ended up getting about $13,000 at one school. And it's a little bit different because you're not asking them to increase your offer, you're just plainly asking them to give you something. And a lot of times that can be a little bit more difficult because you don't really have a starting point. Your starting point is literally zero. What to include with that? Be sure to include something that says why you want to go there, because if you are only asking for money for the sake of asking, a lot of times the people that read these will be able to tell because they see so many of them. If you give them a reason to think that they are talking to someone who really wants to go to their school for any type of program that they have, any type of clinic that they have, if their writing program is number two, three in the country, and you really want to be able to write well as a lawyer, which you should, make sure to include that. And, let them know that while all these things are very important in your decision process, you also want to go to a school that will help you graduate with the least amount of debt possible and blah, blah, blah. However you want to word that, if you even want to include that, is up to you. But always, always make sure that you include the reasons you want to go to that school. Um, like I said, not a lot to say. 10-minute video. Alright, I don't have anything else. If you have any other questions, they can be specifically about my process, they can be how I can help you further with yours. Drop me a comment, shoot me an email. I am more than happy to help.